It's a pleasure to see you again, your ladyship. And a pleasure to meet you as well, Brigadier General.
We were simply in the area, so we thought we might drop by and pay you a visit. It's been quite some time since we last met. I was hoping to take the opportunity to apologize to my master for not staying in touch. But I see that won't be possible.
Unfortunately so.
I wouldn't have minded setting eyes on the famous Radiant Blade Master, but I suppose I'll have to be content with meeting his daughter.
I'm honored, General.
I can't believe they're here.
Do you know them, Reen?
They seem incredibly strong, whoever they are.
Their names are General Aurelia Guin and Brigadier General Wallace Bardias. They're said to be the two strongest generals in the provincial armies.
Yeah, I don't think there are many people interested in martial arts who don't know about them. That's how famous they are. Brigadier General Bardias is otherwise known as the Black Whirlwind. He's known for his unparalleled spearmanship. From what I've heard, he has Nord blood running through him too.
Oh, I see.
He does remind me of Gaius in a way.
I wonder if that's how he came to be so tall.
A number of warriors from Nord were said to have fought with Emperor Dreichels during the War of the Lions. Perhaps he's a descendant of theirs?
Yeah, that makes sense. As for the woman with him... She's generally known as the Golden Rakshasa. She's also a countess and head of the Le Guin family, as well as commander of the La Mer Provincial Army. And hard as it is to believe, I've heard she's a practitioner of both the Arcade and Vander schools of swordsmanship.
Wasn't the Vander School practiced by the guardians of the Imperial family?
Lieutenant General Vander is a practitioner of the Vander School too, obviously.
She sounds like a monster.
Both of them are key public figures in the Alliance. What could they possibly want in a neutral region such as this, I wonder?
Still, it won't do to have you standing around here. Allow me to show you to my father's office. Klaus, would you prepare some tea?
Oh, there's no need to concern yourself with that. Seeing that the Viscount isn't here gave us all the information that we needed.
What might you be suggesting?
Be at ease. We didn't come to criticize anyone for the Crimson Wing's appearance near Trista. Still, it's always good to know who you're fighting against. The way I see it, you're continuing to remain neutral now. But if it came to it, you wouldn't be afraid to take up arms for your personal sense of justice.
There's no need to be hasty. We have more than enough opponents to be going on with. For now, let's focus on drawing out Craig the Red and One-Eyed Zex. We can't allow Rufus to be the only one making any major achievements.
True enough.
It would please me so if you were to fight under me one day, too. I believe you have the potential to surpass even me, given sufficient practice.
I am honored that you would say so. However, my swordsmanship is inexperienced at best. I wouldn't dare presume to have the potential to surpass anyone at this stage. I would ask that you wait until I can at least best my father in a duel before making that invitation.
Then wait I shall. I look forward to the day. With that, I believe it's time we took our leave.
Perhaps so. I was hoping you would introduce us to your friends, but they seem to be feeling rather shy.
Teasing them, are you? I'm sure we'll have the opportunity one day. I sense great potential within them.
As do I.
I apologize for being unable to do anything to make your visit more comfortable. Klaus, please escort them.
As you wish, milady.
Come to think of it, perhaps you wouldn't mind joining me in a battle before I depart. I haven't had the joy in quite some time.
I hardly think an old man such as myself would prove to be a worthy opponent to one of your strength, General.
Oh, I wouldn't be so sure about that. You haven't let your guard down for a second since I stepped into Legram.
Laura!
I'm sorry that you had to see me like that. It took all that I had not to be overwhelmed by their sheer presence.
I'm not surprised. We could feel it well enough ourselves, and we weren't even in the room.
That didn't stop them from noticing us, though.
My fur was on end the whole time. They really did seem to be way beyond us in terms of skill.
It's unbelievable to think that people like them exist.
This just goes to show how many skilled people the Alliance has among their ranks. With warriors such as them on the field, to say nothing of Lord Rufus Alberea, we can't afford to underestimate them.
All very true. Still, that's no reason to give up now. We need to keep pressing on. And on that note, I think it's about time we left ourselves. Let's go and bring back Eustace. And once we've done that, then we can decide what we're going to do and who we're going to be fighting against.
Indeed.
Then let's start heading to Bereahard.
Klaus, I leave Legram in your care. Should father return during my absence, please give him my warmest regards. But of course, Lady Laura. Worry not, Legram will be in safe hands with me. But if you wouldn't mind, everyone, please do look out for Lady Laura for me. I always do. Thanks for keeping an eye on Emma for so long. Please be well, Klaus. Your words are much appreciated, but unnecessary. I will be perfectly fine, I assure you. The path ahead of you will be fraught with many challenges and dangers, and I will be praying that you all will be able to navigate it safely to its end. And from there, forge your own paths. Do keep yourself safe. Thank you, Klaus. We'll be back as soon as we're able. Looks like the generals have left already. Yeah, that's our cue to get going, too. It does look like we'll have to use the highway to get to Bereahard, though. That shouldn't be a problem. Following the Emerald Highway north will lead us straight to it. Perhaps we should pay a visit to the Bracer Guild before we head out. The receptionists there might appreciate a goodbye before we move on to Bereahard. Yeah, you're probably right. And this is why I did not quite want to do all of the stuff 2 episodes ago.
With pleasure.
There's a lot of cutscene. Hey everybody, welcome back to more Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 2.
Leave this
I'm
to me.
SlayerMathis, and last time we picked up Laura
Of course.
and Emma. And this time, we'll be looking around Legram because we still got a few things to go over. The first of those things to go over is Laura and Emma themselves. Laura, just starting off with her master course that she starts with, is Brave. Brave starts her off with plus 25% strength for 2 turns, and it is very focused on physical attack. This is what Laura is best at. Brave is fantastic on Laura. Laura is a fantastic unit overall. As for Laura's skills and all that stuff, first of all, again, she is very much a physical attacker. She is one of the worst magic users. Like right now it does say that she has higher arc strength than Machias, but Machias is 5 levels lower. I believe Fee is the only person on her level in terms of bad at physical, or bad at magic, rather. But Laura makes up for it by being able to hit like a truck. Back in Cold Steel 1, she was our first, and maybe even only person to get into the quadruple digits in strength. It was boosted by accessories, but Laura does so much damage. Laura is absurdly strong. But she has the potential to be very game-breaking. Her and Fee both have different ways of being game-breaking. Fee, by manners of not being hit, we can actually start getting into starting here in Legram, we can start getting into a few things where, if you really need to, you can pretty much trivialize some parts of the game. I will get into those. I won't be using them, but I will at least talk about them. But basically, there's a way to get up to 100% evasion, so you will, with Fee and Sharon. But of course, mainly used for Fee, because Sharon will be leaving the party pretty soon. That's just something. You will mainly be working with Class 7. But Laura does absurd damage. She can potentially do, like, tens of thousands of damage with a single attack. She's ridiculously strong. Radiant Waltz is her S-Craft. It's not great right now. It's I mean, there are ones that are better. For example, like, obviously Sharon's is a little bit better right now. I would even argue that Reen's is better right now. But still, Laura's pretty good. She does a lot of damage because of her insane strength. She starts off with Armor Breaker, and, well, True Armor Breaker in this case. Lowers defense, has a chance of seal, very strong, good hit. It's very nice to lower the defense of your enemies so that she can hit even harder. Earth Cleaver, I'm not the biggest fan of. Generally speaking, movement minus is pretty bad. I don't really see much need to lower enemy movement too often, just because a lot of times you will be engaging enemies in melee anyways. Some of the best units are melee units, so, I mean, this one, it does have some range, so technically Laura might be able to avoid a hit or two if she starts off with an Earth Cleaver, as opposed to anything, but Earth Cleaver, probably my least favorite of her crafts. Brilliant Spin is very, very strong. S-class craft. S-class craft. Sucks enemies in, has a chance of Feint. Feint is one of the best statuses in the game. It is a little bit on the expensive side, but it's very good. And of course, Radiant Wings. I've already talked about this last time. One of my favorites. It's a self-buff that is incredible, especially because Insight is a very good status. So, yeah. Moving on over to Emma. Emma starts off with Mirage, where she gets a plus 5 EP every turn. This is one of the best, just pure magic ones. She also gets a ton of arch strength in terms of the statuses from this, as well as a lot of EP. On top of that, Mirage, very good. Not the greatest arts on it. To start off with, Luminous Ray and Heat Wave aren't my favorite. Analyze, not too useful. We are getting something pretty soon that is also very useful that can potentially trivialize some analyzations. So, still, Mirage, very good. It will get some later on arts. Again, Emma, one of the best best offensive mages. It's her and Elliot have far and away the most art strength out of your regular party members. She beats out even Sharon at a level lower. Emma is fantastic. As for her crafts, they're not the greatest out there. Lord Alberian is not my favorite S-craft. I mean, theoretically, it's the same as Laura's, but I don't know. It's fine. Laura, again, she doesn't really, not Laura. Emma doesn't use crafts too often. She, like Elliot, has Detector. It's the same craft. It's the exact same. It's an analysis, balance down. Yeah. Serene Blessing. This is fine. It's some decent healing. Again, Elliot is your main healer, but if you don't have him, Emma can do quite well at healing as well. That arch strength is no slouch. Emma and Elliot can be a little bit interchangeable at times, so they do have very similar capabilities. But Serene Blessing cures ailments. It's one of the best, it's actually probably the best healing craft, mainly because it can cure KO. So Emma can be a pretty good reviver, but just not the greatest pure healer. And it also doesn't help that it only affects one person. Ethereal Blades is fine. It lowers enemy arch strength. You still, generally speaking, won't have too many enemies that will use arts in comparison to physical. So, not as useful as if it was strength down. It also, I mean, it hits fairly well. Crescent Shell is actually, I do like Crescent Shell quite a bit. Magic Reflect is very good. Anything with Reflect is very nice. And, for example, if someone starts charging up an art, Emma has a turn. She can throw up a Crescent Shell on someone and reflect magic back at them. It's very nice to have. I am a fan of Magic Reflect. The defense plus 50 is also pretty nice as well. And then Aster Flare. I'm not the greatest fan of Aster Flare. It's fairly expensive, if I recall. And it doesn't do the greatest damage. Burn and Confuse is a pretty good status, but Burn, I'm not the biggest fan of Burn. Because it's just one of those many, just does damage over time. No other effects on top of that. It's fine. Again, Emma, she's your best offensive mage, but she can be pretty interchangeable with Elliot. Just really depends on who you want. I believe Emma has more EP but less arch strength, I want to say. Meanwhile, Elliot has the opposite. I might be wrong on that, but... And I think Emma is a little bit tankier. Elliot's pretty squishy, but... Again, they are pretty interchangeable, which is a little bit of a shame. But Laura, on the other hand, irreplaceable. Laura is one of the best characters in the entire game. I love Laura so much as a unit. She is fantastic.
Right, very well.
We have been talking for a little bit. Not really going to get anything this episode, but we will be heading out later. I tried comforting Vivi, but if anything, I only ended up upsetting her more. I'm a total failure as a sister. I'm sure she feels the same way right now. Oh, cool, you guys managed to meet up again? Nice to hear some good news for a change. Great, thank you for your concern. Well, it's about time for us to get going. Oh, okay, take care of yourself, but if you hear anything about Lind over there, really anything at all, come right back and tell you as soon as possible, don't worry. Just keep believing in her. If she put up with you, she can handle anything. Thanks, guys, I'll try to hold up hope as long as I can. Enough to pray hard, huh? Yeesh, it's not gonna be an easy trip. Even without any actual conflict going on, there's a dangerous place to be. Don't worry, we're all keenly aware that we're wanted criminals in the eyes of the Alliance. You put it that way, it sounds kinda cool, but that's not the only reason. The Alliance isn't quite as united as you think. Lots of different factions and different goals going on in there. It only takes one of them to make some trouble for things to get messy. Just keep your eyes and ears open. Softly ominous. Thank you for the warning, Father. We'll be sure to keep that in mind. One thing I will do is, between episodes, before next time, which again, not going to really do too much this time, I have just spent the time talking about Laura and Emma, which is fine because I do like both of them quite a lot, especially Laura, as a unit. Fantastic. I wonder whether making that quest was the wisest choice. I never expected those two to show up when they did. So now that we've begun, we need to follow through. If we can be motivational somehow, all the better. Just because we're already over here, might as well talk to people. Hey, you all heading off somewhere? Indeed. I'm not sure how long we'll be away for, but we will be gone for a while. We're on our way to Berea for it, actually. Fine by me. Good luck, you guys. You'll need it, too. You want to tell those generals who visited your mansion earlier, or anyone else like them, hideous forbid. They were pretty terrifying. Just try to be careful, okay? We will, thanks. I'm sure you do the same. Presumably, we told Laura about Monica before. Who was the guy that I had us yelling? I think it was you? I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw those two! Like, one or two of the Alliance's most famed generals doing here! They were really intimidating, though, but if they were to threaten the town, we'd have our swords at the ready in a heartbeat to protect it! It only took me one look to realize those generals are both way out of our league. I heard the stories, but seeing them in person was... I doubt even the acting master could defeat. It goes to show how big this world is, and how full of strange and powerful people it is, too. True that, true that. Okay, here's what I'll do. We'll continue talking to people kind of just as we move along, but I will start off by going into the Bracer Guild for right now, because, as we see on there, we got some side quests. Oh, hello there. I see those two generals have finally left. It was really overwhelming being in their presence, though. Fortunately, they only seem to be here to assess the situation, but they certainly caught us off guard. The visit served as a stark reminder of how inexperienced I am, but I've no time to be lamenting that now. Let's keep moving forward, don't we? Exactly. We need to finally use this, and then we'll finally be back together. Can't wait. That's what I like to see. And while you're all fired up, I have some work that I think would be perfect for you guys to handle. Would you be willing to? Sorry, in my defense, one of these requests is specifically addressed to you. Really? Well, I don't see the harm in taking a little peek at least. Arcade screening tool? Perfect. School training bout 2 may have been this lesson, but we have tremendously improved the skills in the interim. This is what they were talking about while we were there. Ebel Rebel. This quest. I was talking before about how status infliction items, or status prevention items rather, are pretty important for some bosses. This boss. First time I played this game, I was on hard difficulty because I like challenging myself a little bit. I took on this fight. I was not prepared. The boss for this one is very, very, very capable of inflicting faint. I had not saved since leaving Ymir. I had to redo about an hour and a half because of this fight. Be sure to have feint items for this fight. Crucial. One of the toughest fights in the game is this random side quest that gets you nothing. Your reward for this, aside from the AP, is 300 Seepith Mass. I hate this quest. Now it all makes sense. Only a few of them, too. We should be able to handle these without too much trouble. Keep in mind that as much as I'd love your help, I won't force them. Whether you choose to take care of them or not, may the goddess be with you, and take care. Thank you. Oh, trust me, we will do the room tonight. God, I hate that quest. But that's something that we won't have to deal with this time. But we will deal with it. Samus Monument. So looking upon this architecture, I think that'll do it for this time. So next time, we move on and I think we might do a little bit of a mock battle. But until then, see you guys later.